Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to our Mom's Pearls family. Thank you all for joining us again for another episode of Mom's Pearls. My name is Leah, and I am here with my good friends, Brenda and Yolanda. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Welcome all of our newcomers. If this is your first time, you are in for a treat. So we are sisters in Christ, and we are all moms, and we are super excited about being here with all of you guys today. We are here every Tuesday, and we are always discussing life's questions. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I'm so excited. I know you guys are too. So we're just going to jump right in. So today we are talking about pandemic school protocols. Ooh, what fun. So last week we did a huge shout out to our teachers. We love you. We are grateful for everything that you do. Keep doing your very best because you're so needed and you're so impactful for our children. Thank you so much. So in following up with that, this week we're talking about the pandemic school protocols. So we are familiar with them. We've been getting them from family, from friends in different areas, because the pandemic school protocols are different across the board for everybody. Nobody has one specific plan they're following. It varies from county to county, to city to city, to state to state. So we're going to be diving into a little bit of that today. We know the children are going back to school, so we just really want to get into some of the different things that we have going on. So we're talking about masks, whether they should be mandated or not mandated today. We're going to be talking about enough capacity as far as the classrooms and the schools are concerned in general, in regards to our buses, in regards to our classrooms, our children, our students having enough space amongst each other. You know, we know some of them have returned to eating in the classrooms together. Some of them are interacting together on the playgrounds. So what exactly does that mean, and what does that look like going forward? So I'm excited to get started. So I'm going to turn it over to my sister Yolanda, who is going to speak from several viewpoints, specifically because she's a homeschool teacher as well as a mom. So she's got a lot on her plate, for real. So go ahead, Yolanda, talk to us a little bit about the teacher's perspective.
Hello. Welcome back. I'm so glad to be here with you all. Thanks for that intro, Sister Leah. So the teachers in the classrooms prior to the pandemic already had a lot going on, already had enough on their plate. They were already buying school supplies for the kids who, when they didn't get all that they needed, when they would send out the list home. And now we're in a pandemic and they're back in the classroom. Yes. And not only are they still coming out of their pockets to provide school supplies, now it's extra cleaning supplies and prevention supplies as well. So some teachers, I'm sure they're probably also buying masks for your students if they lose one, if they accidentally throw it in the trash with their lunch, or if it gets wet, because, you know, I don't know, kids find drool somewhere. I don't know, they always have drool. Kids can be grown. And so it's just, they have an even more, a heavier plate than they had before the pandemic. And with being a homeschool mom, it's, my heart truly goes out to the teachers. One, for their salary. I'm not getting into that because that's another episode, or probably 5 episodes, but they deserve much more than they receive, on top of what they provide out of pocket to the parents or for the students, but also in turn, it helps the parents as well. So for me being at home, we don't have those restrictions. It's us, it's me and my children. So we don't have to wear the mask. Yes, I do still sanitize. I was sanitizing prior to, and I'll sanitize now. We Lysol wipe stuff, we spray stuff down, because still, even at home, they put stuff in their mouth, and our mouths are full of germs. Their hands find stuff I don't know, you thought you cleaned it and they're kids. They're just germ detectors. They are magnets to germs. And so being at home in our environment, we don't have all the extra added concerns with being in a classroom with 20 to 30 other children, with there being just one teacher in the classroom, because there's a shortage on teachers. There's a shortage on teachers. There's a shortage on bus drivers. There was already a shortage on teachers prior to the pandemic. And now there's a shortage on teachers with that. The spacing in the classroom, there were already 20 to 30 kids in the classroom. Yes, some parents have chosen to remain virtual, and there has been an increase in the parents who have chosen to homeschool. So I want you to chime in and let us know which one you chose. Did you still choose virtual? Are you and your kids still in the classroom, or did you choose to homeschool? And how's it going? Like, we're all in this together. So chime in, let us know how it's going, because we all have our various challenges in whichever avenue we chose. And the teachers in the classroom that still have to do virtual and the in-seat classes. It was hard enough doing it all virtual, and then hard enough doing it virtual and in-seat last year. So again, let us know if your child is virtual, if there's even I've heard somewhere that they have an all virtual school where if you chose to go virtual, you can just be virtual in this particular school. And if you're in seat, then you just go to the regular public schools. That's interesting. If you're having that experience, let me know about it. I want to hear more about that from personal experiences. And the teachers, their load has increased. Not only are they having to prepare the lesson plan. So the summer break, you think the teachers they're preparing lesson plans. So they get maybe a couple of weeks off in the summer. So let's give them a little grace. And so they're preparing lesson plans for the year for the in-seat students, as well as for the virtual students, because there are things you just can't connect with virtually that you can in seat. It stinks, but that's the thick and thin of it. So that's just it. I don't have anything else to add to that, because we do Sunday school virtually and in seat, and it's hard. I have like 10 kids when I teach Sunday school, and it's hard enough to do it for 20 to 30. My hat goes off to you. My heart goes out to all you teachers out there. And I could dominate this and continue going on with all the different administrative things in the classroom with the teachers, but I do want to open this up. So please, our viewing guests, please chime in and let us know what your experiences are with the added responsibilities to the teachers in the classroom. And if you're doing anything to help them, let's make this a community effort. Tell us what you're doing to help your teachers out. All right, Leah, you're in the classroom. Your kids are still babies. They're in the class. What is your take on the teacher perspective?
There was an article. There have been so many articles going on. Everybody has their difference of opinion, when it comes to the mask mandates and whether teachers should be required to vaccinate, or whether the students should be required to wear masks 24/7. And I think it just really varies. In my personal opinion, I just think for the safety and health, come on, Leah, the safety and health of everybody involved, at least we can at least do a mask. I don't want to be the person to say, yes, you should have to get this vaccination. I think it should still definitely be your choice. But I think that we should all be, mature enough to the point where we can wear masks, because we know, especially because both of my children attend elementary school, and that's under the age where nobody in the school other than the adults can be vaccinated, right? So I think that we just do have to, for their safety, make sure that we keep our mask up. Because if you've had children, if you're a parent out there in our virtual world, they're nasty little creatures. Sometimes love them that we do. They get into everything. So just for the consideration of others, what do you think, Brenda?
Well, fortunately, I don't have any babies in school, but I have grandchildren. I have, nieces and nephews who are young children, and they attend school. I pray over them every day to keep them safe and healthy, and also for the administration also, because it's tough. It's not easy. My grandchildren in New York, they go to a classroom of 30 or more. You cannot separate 30 children. There's one teacher in the room. Her eyes aren't wide enough to see what each child is doing at each time. Oh no, don't talk to him, don't talk to them. It's just a difficult thing. And my heart goes out to everyone involved in this.
Yes, absolutely. Teachers, we still commend you for the hard work you're putting in, for your dedication to our
Yes.
children. And we can continue to talk on and on about this subject because we love our teachers dearly, and we do. So let's keep this conversation flowing in the comments, and we're going to go into our Pearl of the Week.
Yay.
Hi, ladies. Thanks so much for having me today. Today's Pearl of the Week is to start shopping. What? Christmas shopping. I know. It's only September. Christmas is still a few months away, but due to COVID-19 and many other factors, they're experiencing worldwide shipping delays. So, the things that you think would only take a couple of weeks or even a few days, we're seeing double and triple the amount of time for shipping items, even for you Prime customers. Start shopping. And by today, I mean yesterday. If there's a hot ticket toy or a specialty item you see in store, don't wait for it to go on sale. Get it right now because you will be surprised to find that there's going to be longer times in between restocking those popular items. Moms, dad, grandmas, grandpas, aunts and uncles, friends, teachers, bosses. Take this from your Mom's Pearl of the Week team. Go ahead and start buying those items right now. Start ordering those items right now to make sure that on your special day, your loved ones have exactly what you want them to have. Thanks so much for having me, ladies.
Yes.
Thank you. That was amazing. I always love it. You just learn something new every time. So I just truly, truly, truly enjoy the Pearl of the Week. And just to get back to our conversation that we were having on the pandemic school protocols, like we were kind of saying before, I know from at looking at it from a parental perspective, I definitely would just prefer, like I was saying earlier, that everybody just kind of mask up. Just because the children, especially under the age of 12, we haven't gotten a vaccine for under the age of 12. That's their best line of defense. And we know how they like to share. We know how they like to touch and feel. Like you were saying, Brenda, earlier, a classroom with 30 students, they're not 6 feet apart. They're not even 3 feet apart. So they're right there. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Everybody's reaching to go pick up a pencil. Shoot, we don't want to learn. We want something to do. Let's everybody pick up the pencil. Let's, laugh and giggle. And because I think one of the things that I had heard before was that and I think this was a big driving force, was that just for the children were excited to be back. They wanted to be back with their peers. They wanted to be back with their friends. As parents, we like having that little help around the house. Hey, you go vacuum the floor. You go do but that wasn't really always their thing, So just the opportunity to get away from everything like that and just get back to the school and the different dynamics and learning with your peers, all that. So they're excited and they like being around each other. So they're going to be touchy-feely and all in each other's stuff. So the least thing that we can do for them and for ourselves is to at least mask up. In my opinion, I would definitely prefer if everybody could at least have a mask mandate so that we're covering ourselves and protecting each other, because you think children under 12, they're still being taught the basics, the fundamentals. Cover your mouth when you cough, make sure when you sneeze, get a tissue, wash your hands afterwards, wash for 20 seconds. They're still learning those basics. So I think it's so important that we do that. And even when we think about the other pandemic school protocols, like Yolanda, like you were saying, we're short-staffed in a lot of areas. Our teachers are short-staffed, so they're suffering. A classroom of 30, you might have had a teacher assistant before. You might have had some help to at least come in for an hour or 2 hours of your day. I can run over here and grade a couple of papers, get this off my schedule because I have my teacher assistant up there helping me to do X, Y, Z. But you don't have that anymore. The same with our buses. I don't know if this is happening everywhere, but I know in several of our different areas, our children are being left at the schools. They're there, and I've even passed them on my way because my children are car riders. So on my way taking them to school, the children are still there in the morning waiting on that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are going to be late. What's going on but we're so short staffed. So I think, and then the health of the staff members that we do have is important. And I think the way that we can really protect everybody is to make sure that we keep those masks up, to keep those that are running on the fumes and doing the jobs of 2 and 3 that would have there, it's just to keep them masked up. So what do you guys think about that? I just think it's from a parent's perspective. I think it's one of the least things that we can do, until we can find better ways to protect ourselves and our children. So, Brenda, what do you think about it?
From a perspective, whether you have children or not, just I just think it's a good thing to do. You should be masked up. You looking out for the other person. It's just a good thing to do. Me personally, that's what I feel. And I've seen kids have adapted very much so. I watch my grandchildren adapt. My nieces and nephews adapt. They'll don't have a mask, can't leave, gotta give a mask, and they are out there, they'll be outside, they don't take that mask off. They have adapted very well to this. I believe the children are doing better than the adults at the end of the day.
I like that. Actually,
Yes.
I totally agree with that because I know, Yolanda, you can really speak to this, but I will amen Yolanda's kids a million times. Like, they might be homeschooled, but them babies know when that mask comes on, unless mommy says otherwise, it does not come off. Like, they are diligent about that mask. So Yolanda, you can really speak to that as well.
Yes, yes. Children in general are resilient. So we have to give our babies more credit than we give them. So now the masks are super creative. They're making them where you don't have to hook them behind the ears. They have clasps where they can go over the head, or I've seen some cute ones. They have headbands for the girls, and the masks are connected to the headband by little buttons, so it's not aggravating behind their ears all day. And they have cute little designs. So the kids are like, oh, I got my baby is 3. He's like, oh, I'm Superman. He has a Superman mask. Or today I'm Batman. I have Batman on my mask. So it lets them have their own personality as well, still be who they are, and they want to be around their friends. They can't get vaccinated, and kids don't really know boundaries, so they are all up on each other. You can tell them this is where you go from tape to tape, but they don't know boundaries. They don't honor them. They just are all up on you, and they're all up on each other, breathing on each other's necks. So, and I think the masks is the least that we can do. It's to just wear the mask. I'm not going to tell you to go out and get the vaccine because we all have our choice. The research is out there, the evidence is there. We all have our choice on whether we want to get the vaccine and put that in our bodies. As adults, we have the choice. Children don't have that option. We still have to make that choice for them. But as for the mask, when they can't do anything else to protect themselves from the vaccine, I am for the mask. At the very least, is to wear the mask if you're going to be in that setting. I was a germaphobe anyway, so I don't really like people being that close to me. So I was all for the mask. Let's do it. I don't want you breathing on me.
Bubble. But it's like having a bubble around you.
Absolutely. Oh my gracious, I love it. When we're in the store, hey, I need you to back it up. Back it up. I need my distance. I need my space.
Did you see?
But at the very least, I think we can do to help protect our babies, to keep them safe, is to wear the mask, because they can't remain 6 feet apart in these classrooms because the rooms are small and we still have 20 to 30 kids in the classroom. We would need stadium-sized classrooms in order to do that.
Absolutely. And because everybody wants to be back. Our children want to be back. The parents are glad for that.
They want them to be back.
Yes. So I think we all have to do our part. And like Philippians 2:3 says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. And I think that's just so important. I think at the end of the day, we just have to consider somebody else. We have to think about other people before ourselves. When we're interacting with teachers, when we're interacting with our students, our staff members, even if they differ on opinion. And that's one of the things that I love about what we do, ladies. We can have a difference of opinion when it comes to things, when it comes to the vaccinations, when it comes to your mask wearing, however we function and move. But at the end of the day, we still know enough to respect each other and to consider each other's feelings and to hear each other out. And I think that that's so important. And family out there, you guys comment, let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts and opinions, how you and your family move in particular. What are some of the protocols that are impacting and making changes as far as the schools go in your lives? Because it's so important that we talk about these things together. We want to be a part of your family as much as you all are a part of ours. And we are just so excited to be right here, but I won't hold you because I am soon super excited to move into the next segment, which is our spiritual birth.
Yay!
Hi, ladies. Hello to our viewers. Thank you for having me. So, as you know, there is so much things going on in the world. It's like one thing after the other, hit after hit after hit. And you may be asking yourself, where is God in all of this? So I'm here to give you guys a little bit of hope if you've lost any, some encouragement, okay? Because God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. So it's
Yes.
important to not lose heart, okay? Because Bible says, though outwardly we may be wasting away, yet inwardly we're being renewed day by day. So I thank you, God, for that. And I'm going to leave you guys with this scripture. Revelations chapter 21, verse 4 through 5 says, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. He who has seated on the throne said, I am making everything new. Okay, let's highlight everything. Then he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. So you could trust on God's word. Okay, you could stand on it. You could bank on it. So I encourage you all, read the Bible, study the Bible, okay? Pray without ceasing. And it's also important to have another Christ-like friend, because sometimes when we're having those down days and we don't want to pray, we don't want to do anything, we have that friend who can encourage us, who can uplift us. So there you have it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Sister Janelle. That was phenomenal. And I'm sure we all can use that, just that inspiration to keep us lifted. I hope you, our viewers out there, it fell on good seed with you also today. Oh, well, ladies, getting back to our subject at hand, the mask.
Yes.
I want us to talk about it from the administrative point of view.
All right.
You know, we have the children, then we have the teachers, then teachers even have a boss. And that's those higher ups who are telling them what they can and what they cannot do, how it's going to go, how it's going to roll. This is what we think. And there's a whole lot of stuff out there. And administrators, I do know they are in a hard predicament, because there's a huge group of parents who do not want their children wearing masks by any means. Then you have the parents who, yes, I want my child definitely to be masked up. I feel they'll be more protected. It's been so bad that it's gotten violent in some areas, in some states. Now, I was doing some research, and I did come up with 10 states, they have mandated masks for the schools, while there are 8 states that forbid them to do mandates in the schools for the children. So no, that's okay. Let the kids go out, whatever. And then I think they put this on some of their research. When this first all started a year ago, the CDC thought that it was less likely for the children to get sick. And it wasn't real criteria at the time for them to wear masks. And if they did get sick, that they wouldn't be as severely ill. The sickness would be mild on them. So it wasn't a big deal for the children. That's how they looked at it. But now, as we all know, with Delta virus and all of that happening, the script has flipped over. Now there's a whole much more children that are sick, that they're even hospitalized behind this. And the administration, they don't know what to do, I think. That's what I really feel. I feel they don't know. They trying to satisfy the teachers. They're trying to satisfy the parents, and they are just at a loss, and they don't want to take a firm stand and put their foot down and say, look at here. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Our viewing audience, give us some comments and feedbacks. Where do you live? What are they doing? Is it mandated? If it's not mandated, are parents fighting? And how you personally feel if you have school children. Do you want them to be masked, or you feel that it's not of importance? It's really, really hard. Now, Leah, you have have children that in the public system, and I know you recently had some issues. How do you feel about the children being masked up?
I think it's so important that the children are masked up, but I think as far as in regards to administration, because we did have some issues, we had to go and meet with the school board, we had to present our case, we had to, represent ourselves for what we believe. And so I think with the school board, my major frustration with them was the lack of communication with the parents and the lack of integrity up front. I just think at the end of the day, there's nobody to blame when it comes to this whole pandemic. There's nobody to blame as far as this goes. So we just have to figure out now how we go forward, how we work together. And I really think as parents, it is so our job to speak up, to stand together, to be heard, but to work together as a community. I don't think there's any reason why the administration, the school administration, the school boards, the people who make the decisions for our children, and the parents who are literally bringing these children into these classrooms shouldn't be able to work together and come up with something that works together for everybody. I am talking about not your personal feelings, not how you feel in the moment, not being emotional. I am talking about truly considering what is important for all the children involved, not just my child of a particular, a certain way, but I am talking about all the children. And I think that as a community, it is our job for our children to be so much bigger and so much better. And just to stand up and say, okay, administration, and administration say, okay, community, we need you all to get involved. Because like we said, there are teacher shortages, there are bus shortages. We need to figure out ways to get these. Are we going to carpool? Can I get 3 waivers signed in this car? Y'all all going to the same neighborhood. You taking so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so home. Because back in the day, before we got all fancy and all distant with our communication and relationships, they did that. They worked together as a group. They looked out for each other's children. The teachers were the same aunties coming home, and you watched my kids until I was able to make it there. You provided snacks. You did. So I think it should be the same thing now. I don't think, it's frustrating just to see how difficult it is for us to get on one accord. So I definitely think we in 2021, we still got a long way to go on working together. And we need to learn a lesson from our children who know how to work together.
Well, truth, bro, you would never lie on that one, boy. It is sad because that's when we had the village. We all come together as a village to raise these children. But unfortunately, the village has fell down, has crumbled. It is so sad to see that. My nephew, his mom was telling me the other day that he's getting to school late. Mm-hmm. And so, but the administration's view is, okay, we won't mark him absent. Really? Okay. Oh, we won't mark him late. Well, he's late because there's no buses. They don't have enough drivers, and the drivers have all these routes, and I guess they can only have a certain amount of kids on the bus now at one time. So they gotta go, and then they gotta come back, and he's getting to school late, and then he's getting home even later. So the day is so long, and then you got.
Can I jump in?
Yes.
So when you opened up, my issue was the administration is not communicating beforehand with the parents. They are in defense to the decisions that they make. So the administration, it seems they're going out making these decisions. And then when something happens and the parent comes in to say, hey, what's going on with this? They're like, oh, well, we made this decision to do this. And so now they didn't make a decision to follow up on it. So we made the decision to bring all the kids back to school, but we didn't further that plan out to discuss, hey, oh yes, now we're only limiting so many kids to ride the bus. So now you should send a letter of intent home saying, hey, the bus, we can only have so many kids on the bus at a time. So if you absolutely need the bus, you will be placed priority on the list. And if you don't, do you have other means to get to school? I believe if the administration would have put this information out there to the parents, that may have reduced the amount of backlash that the administration is receiving now from the parents. Now, if you're in a class and your kid gets sick, they get sent home. They're marked absent for the days they're sent home. That's not on them. They didn't bring that to school. Why should they be marked absent from school? Why should they be missing instruction? They didn't have the plan in place. They wanted these kids in school. The kids wanted to be back in school. The parents that have to work outside the home wanted the kids to be back in school. Yes. but there had to be a plan. There needed to be more in place for this. We had a whole year. We knew the kids were going back to school. They wanted it. They pushed for it. So why not let's bring this together and have a cooperative decision. The parents have a say, the administration have a say, and then we meet in some middle ground on it. And
Well, sister,
that's what I had on that.
That's where you say shoulda, woulda, coulda. And on that note, I have a verse I want to share with everybody. Timothy 1:2 states, therefore, I exhort first of all that supplication, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings and for all who are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceful life in all godliness and reverence. And that's to the administrators. They govern all the rules for the children. We just gotta pray for them and may God lead them in a way that will work for everyone to our benefit. You know, it's just hard out there.
It is hard, but you know, Brenda, I think it's just one of the things that you said earlier, and like you continue to say, we have to pray. Just at the end of the day, we are responsible for these children, and I don't think that we should take that responsibility lightly. I think that we should always lead in prayer, so that what we're doing when we're making decisions, we're using wisdom with those decisions. So we know at the end of the day, we're trusting God that we're making the best decisions, and that the outcome will reflect that, because that's all that matters. Just at the end of the day, we have to seek first the kingdom of God, and that means we have to continuously be in prayer. And so as our call to action, you know, we like to give our family, hey, get y'all involved and give y'all something to do. Okay. So we want you all, parents, teachers alike, we want you guys to get involved. Join the PTA. Like I've said before, email your teachers, see how you can help, see how you can assist. I promise you, with these shortages, there is plenty to do. Carpooling is not a bad idea. Let's rally, let's get together, let's go to those board meetings where they're having the meetings. It's open to the public. So let's attend, let's find out what's going on, let's participate, because there are children, it's our community. And in order for us to make it better, we have to get involved. We can't just throw our hands up and sit on the sidelines and let somebody else do the work. It's our children, so we have to participate. It's our community. Even if you don't have children, you have a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, they still belong to you. You have kids down your street, they still belong to you. It's so important that we get together and we participate. Look, family, we love you. Please, please, please jump in, comment, chime, let us know your thoughts, let us know what's going on, and we will be here back with you again next Tuesday. We love you. Remember, we are Mom's Pearls, and we discuss life's questions.
Mom's Pearl.